MULATSCHAG.
Hi, this is Mike from Alice in Chains.
And Sean,
You are watching MULATSCHAG.
the only TV you need.
MULATSCHAG!
Hi, it's so nice I'm sorry. Normally I'm behind the camera, so this is.
Nice to meet you.
Sean, behind the camera, uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Just,
Me too!
So, are you rolling? Okay. Hi.
Just hit a bunch of emojis on your
Oh.
phone.
we'll pick.
Yeah.
Okay. Then I guess I start. How are you today?
I am fine.
And have you ever been up to Mount Rainier?
Mount Rainier? I have not. Sean has. Yeah.
I have. It's a mountain. It's got snow on it. And you should bring a jacket if you're going up there because it's cold.
How high is the Mount Rainier? Do you know that?
In feet. I know in feet. I don't know in meters. So it would be, it's about 14,000 and a half feet tall. What's that in meters?
I don't know, but it's.
Wow, come on.
When there's snow, there's really high, I guess. So, and
Turn that off. Turn that off if you want that radio.
did you ever visit the Alps in Austria?
No, we've driven through them. I have not. I want to get a. I'm planning on doing a red motorcycle, so that's part of my plan. I want to come back when I have time. Do a lot of riding around. That would be one of the places. Of course, you want to go there in kind of the summer.
We just drove through them the other day, coming through with all the tunnels and everything, and it's just beautiful, you know. Everything about your country is great. It's hard city to, when you have a day off here, it's hard to leave, you know. Just such a great vibe here, you know. Yeah.
Hey, this is Duff McKagan. You're watching MULATSCHAG, the only TV you need.
Duff McKagan, who was a guest on our show a couple of times, always loved to talk about the Seattle music scene. Please tell us about these early, late 80s when it all took off like hell.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, I just thought we thought it was our little thing up there because we're in the far northwest corner of the United States, right by the border of Canada. So not a lot of people go there to get discovered. It's not Hollywood, California, so we just thought it was kind of our thing, and we always had a good music scene up there, and you know, Jimi Hendrix is from there, and Hart, and Queensryche, and Bing Crosby, and Quincy Jones, yeah, and so a lot of music's been made up there, a lot of really great stuff, but it was just what you did on back then. On, you know, if you're old enough to go to bars, or you know, when we were younger, we weren't old enough, so we'd put on our own shows in like rent out halls and stuff with other bands, and so that's kind of what you did. You went out and did that, you know, pre-internet age, and so it was a really thriving kind of a music community, and it wasn't as super competitive like it could be in other towns, so people were pretty supportive of each other and go see each other's bands, and so we just felt like it was our little thing and part of our culture, and then it kind of became everybody's thing.
Do you have a special memory from that time?
I do, but I'm saving it for my birthday present when I'm 75. I'm going to try to remember my special memory that I put away. I'm going to try to find it. I hid it in 1987, and I'm hoping I can find it in about 20 years from now, and then I'll be like, oh my God, you know. So that was, you have to hide little things for yourself.
I guess I have to hide a little memory for myself too.
Yeah, you
then
should.
in 50 years.
I'm telling you, you should have hide a memory.
What impact had Cameron Crowe's movies singles back then?
I thought it was cool. You know, Cameron was married to Nancy Wilson, and so he spent a lot of his time up there, and so he was part of the community and the thing. And we thought he was kind of crazy for, you know, getting the permission and trying to make a big budget Hollywood movie about our town. But, you know, it's not really about all that. It's just, you know, it's a love story. It's a romance relationship movie, and we were just all kind of, Seattle's kind of the backdrop, and that was kind of what was going on around there. So I thought it was pretty cool.
I actually have to see this movie.
You haven't seen it?
No. I'm sorry.
You should see the sequel. The third one is the third one's the best. Like usually the second one is crappy, or the third one's even worse. But the singles 3 is way better than singles 1, I think. But singles 2 was crap. But Cameron didn't do that one, but he came back and did singles 3, and that one was really good. You should check it out.
Which is it's a love story that takes place inside of a black hole. Yeah, you should have just went off on a. You haven't even seen the movie? No. I think that's fantastic. Actually, that's great. That's so great.
You recorded the tracks Rainy Fog at the legendary Studio X. How did it feel to go back there?
It was fun. You know, there's no better place in America in the summer than Seattle, Washington. It's such a beautiful town. It's right on the water, and the city is right on the water. So it's you know, bustling, really vibrant city. You know, and for once, Sean got to sleep in his own bed. He lives up in Seattle still, and he got to sleep in his own bed and go to work every day and bring his dog. And it was really it was. A lot different than recording in Los Angeles, you know.
LA's great. We did the last 2 there. We've done albums on and off there through the whole career, but just felt like it was time to go back home and make a record there. And I know that I'd heard that the studio may be going away. A lot of studios, these big expensive studios with all the gear, people aren't really making records like that as much anymore, and they're not buying records, so it's hard to keep those things open and get people to come in and pay the prices that keep them running. So kind of mentioned it to the guys, and it just felt like, you know, life's weird, kind of sends you where you're supposed to go, and we just kind of felt like it was overdue to go back home and do a record there, and I'm glad we did. And the studio's going away now, so it's not going to be there. We were probably the last thing that you know, last real record that was made in there, and it was a great experience. Like Mike said, it was a summer. Mike spent time there before when he first got in the band, and Will's been there, you know, week here, week there, but he hasn't spent like months there. And so they had condos right downtown in the middle of the town. They could walk to work, and weather's great. And I think just like anything, when you're making music or doing anything kind of creative, wherever you're at, that stuff kind of seeps in, you know, just the environment you're in and the people you're around, and so I think it, you know, subconsciously kind of lended to the record, and it was just felt like the right, you know, everything was kind of pulling us back there. So I'm glad we did it, and I did have that excuse too. I got tired of sleeping in my bed in LA. I want to stay at home in Seattle, so there's that.
There's this epic song on Rainy Fog called All I Am. A long look backward. Your band went through triumphs and tragedies. How do you feel looking back at all those times?
Well, I mean, it's life. It's no different than everybody else's life. You know, you're gonna lose people you love. You're temporary, you know, and we're all temporary. And the difference is in this situation, you know, happened much earlier, much younger, and happened in public. So we have to deal with it like right now. You know, people asking you about it a lot, and I understand why, but it's never a great thing to talk about all the time. But it's, you know, you get knocked down. You know, you got to get up and keep moving. You know, while you're here, and so this is how we do that. You know, this is our thing. This is the thing we created, and it's nobody wishes things were different more than us, more than any fan or anybody. But that's not the reality, and so this is our reality, and we're doing what we feel is right for us, and we do it for the same reasons and the same thing, and we're fortunate that everybody's kind of come along with us on it, which is cool. I mean, we get to come here and play, talk to you, who's usually behind the camera apparently, and you know, do this stuff. It's pretty cool. It's pretty mind blowing. We can, you know, you get together, make music, and after all this time and all that everything's been through, we can essentially go to pretty much anywhere on the planet, and some people will show up, hang out with us, and let us play some songs for them. It doesn't get much better than that.
So I guess is music always kind of therapy for you guys, or?
Yeah, I mean it's definitely a release, and it's, you know, it's what we've all focused the majority of our lives on. You know, it's done it longer than anything else. You know, I haven't quit haven't quit this, and Mike hasn't quit it. So I think Mike's quitting after the show tonight, but we're going to try to talk him out of it. We're going to try to talk him out of it.
Depends how the show goes tonight. I think last time we played here, we had a great time in Vienna, though. The crowds were just fantastic, you know. It's just such a great town. And yeah, music's, it's a bonding thing. It brings us everybody together. We wouldn't have met you today if it wasn't for music, you know. And music is one of those things that even when you're by yourself and you put your earbuds in and listen to music, it's like an old friend. It's there for you, you know. And my mood changes from different albums. You know, I'll listen to one album and put me in a good mood, and I'll listen to another album and, you know, put you in a different mood. So I just always look at it like that. It's kind of a living thing in a way, you know. It blows my mind that you go and you plug your guitar into an amp and make a bunch of noise, and Sean will pick up some wood and hit things with it, and then it comes out like the Rainier Fog record. It just comes out like that. You never know how it's going to sound and how the molecules are going to move around on the tape machine, you know. So it's kind of a magic thing, you know, to me. I just couldn't imagine doing anything else, really. And I'm totally not qualified to do anything else, so this is all we do is make a bunch of noise, and, you know, you probably won't stick around for the show.
Yeah, of course.
But, yeah.
You know, music is a good friend, and it just won't help you move. Like if you try to call and you're moving from one place to another and you try to ask music to help you move, it
Have in the background. Have in the background.
It's always busy. It'll never show up with a truck and help you move. But other than that, it's a pretty good friend.
Do you always wanted to be a musician?
Yeah. Yep.
Was there ever a plan B?
No. No, there wasn't, unfortunately. And everybody that was around as adults pretty much were like, that's a really stupid thing. But, you know, I think it is, to a certain degree, anything that you're really passionate about, you should really dedicate to it, you know, and give it a shot. And if it wouldn't have panned out, who knows what would have happened, you know. But for us, we were pretty young, fairly young, you know, by the time things got going, you know. So, and they usually don't last that long, so we're really fortunate for that. It's been about 30 years, you know, so to be able to, usually like a band or things like this happen, it's about, you're lucky you get 5 years out of it. So, you know, this is a little different situation. So we're well aware of that, and we you know, we kind of are the custodians and stewards of our whole thing, and as the time goes on and things change, you have a different way of how you manage your career and the totality of the whole thing. You know, it wasn't just bang and then over. Sometimes it happens, and it has nothing to do with like the talent of a band. Sometimes just people are like, yep, next. You know, you only get that one time. So it really comes down to people, and that's way out of your hands. And if other people just keep passing your music on to different generations, that's people doing it themselves. There's no infrastructure for that. So we've been fortunate to have that happen, which is pretty cool. It's really cool. It's fucking awesome. Can you swear on this thing?
Yes.
Really?
We're in Austria.
I'm only going to swear from now on. I'm not going to say anything that's not a swear word.
Great. It's a rock and roll channel, television show, so you can swear.
Do that.
Fuck.
You can smoke weed, and you can say dirty words, you can drink booze. I could steal a car. Could I steal a car on this show? Would you help me steal a car?
Yes, of course. Let's go outside and steal a car.
Let's do this.
Yes.
All right.
Everybody rides bikes here. We'll steal a bike. We'll steal a bike. Or we'll borrow a bike.
I want a car.
Oh, you want
What kind of car?
I don't know. Car
We'll
in
know
general.
when we see it,
Yes.
and then we'll steal it, and then when we get caught, I'm going to blame you and just run. I'm just going to tell you straight up. I'm going to turn on you. I'm going to say it was your thing. I'm going to throw you under the bus, and I'm going to run.
In 2004, Tsunami played a major role in your career. Do you remember when you decided, okay, let's do this again?
No, that took a long, kind of organic path. That was just I had a kind of a part of this club in Seattle that happened, and I felt like, hey, I'd like to do something and help these people with this tragedy. Started thinking like, maybe I'd get some friends together, raise some money. Called Mike and Jerry. They're like, yeah, let's do this. I don't think we put any thought into it. And then called some other people like Maynard from Tool, and a bunch of different people showed up for the thing, and ended up playing some of our songs. And that was kind of weird. And then by doing that, then people started asking, hey, would you guys do this? Would you do that? And Ann and Nancy Wilson from Harvard getting honored for their career, and they asked us if we'd do that. And so we had Duff and stuff, and that's where Will came in, and Phil and Selmo and all these different people. And by doing that, then people kept asking, and then, we just kind of tiptoed our way to where we are today. There was never really any plan to, get the band back together. But it doesn't work that way. I mean, I guess you could, but for us, it doesn't work that way. So we just cautiously and took our time and did what felt right and dealt with it together, and now we're here.
How hard is this for you to writing a set list for a live show?
Well, you got to play. Interesting question. You have the old songs you have to play. People want to come and see the old stuff, and then for us, playing new stuff is exciting. So we have to put some new stuff in, and then you want to have a little bit from each record too, and represent the whole vast catalog. So if you just do that, you're already over the time limit, right? So now it comes a question of which ones do you want to kill that night? You know what I mean? You're pulling out stuff because you have, which is a good problem to have. It's better to have more songs than less songs, We're playing in Montrose Jazz Festival coming up, so we're doing an acoustic set that night, for instance. So I'm sure we'll be doing different songs in tonight. So it's kind of like just depends on the day or the tour leg, and comfort level, and then it goes beyond the four guys in the band. You got all the techs with the different guitars for each song, and then you're coordinating light shows and sound equipment too, so dancing girls, a lot of
Confetti cannons, pyro, fire, cherry pickers, all the gags, all the rock gags, drum solo, bass solo, guitar solo, bass solo again. Because the kids just fucking love it. Like at first you always think like nobody likes a fucking bass solo, no disrespect, but you're like, man, it's kind of fucking stupid. I think they're all mildly kind of dumb and kill time, but we do we do that, and then they really just wanted another bass solo. So there's 2 bass solos tonight. So we're gonna play 3 songs. And then a bass solo, drum solo, guitar solo. Will's just gonna do like some moonwalk, and he's gonna he just kind of like dances. I don't know, he just makes it up every night. And then we're gonna play another song, then another bass solo. So if
at that point I've run out of basses, so
Probably have, like,
yeah,
we'll
we have
play,
to
like-
send out and get another bass, and then I'll do another bass solo, and then a drum solo.
But I mean, who knew, man? Who knew the kids loved the bass solos so much? I didn't, and I'm just blown away by it. But fuck it, I'm saying like, give the kid. You got to give people what they want. And that's what they want now. They want a lot of bass solos. And any other bands, if you're out there watching, you should, take our advice and do a lot of bass solos, because I know what you're thinking. You're thinking the same thing we're thinking. It's a fucking stupid idea. But trust me, do it at your next show, and you will be blown away by the 3rd bass solo. Yeah. They'll be eating out of the palm of your hand.
I play piano, so.
You play piano?
Yeah.
Okay, then a piano solo tonight. Okay.
Start when you're really young.
Yes. about age 5.
Don't be too happy about it.
Nah.
Why don't you should be happier about this.
No, I love music, so
Great.
we started a band from our work. So.
Cool. You must be very good.
No.
This is a tough town to be a piano player, right? Like, you know, all these great people from here, and it's like, oh, you could be really any other city, you'd be super badass, and here they're like, yeah, well, you're not really, you know.
You know Mozart. You know Mozart.
A word from you about Vinnie Paul. He once put a cow horn on the hood of Jerry's car. Remember that one?
Yeah, those guys were pretty big pranksters, and they would fuck with Jerry quite a bit. And back early on, like 1990 or so, I think we were over here, and Pantera were just coming up at the same time, and we were playing a lot of these little places throughout Europe, and we were kind of missing each other, and it was rooms like this, and we'd leave like graffiti for each other in the rooms, and there was always like some gags depending on how, you know, quick you came through, so that was always fun. I remember we were in Germany, it's like Cowboys from Schnell, or like writing shit like that on the walls. It's probably not funny. You know what? In hindsight, it sucked. I just now saying it wasn't funny, but you know, they had a lot of fun. There was a lot of fun, and Vinnie was a amazing guy. He was very hospitable. Always wanted everybody to have a great time. He was pretty selfless, and he had a big heart. He was a crushing fucking drummer and an all-around great guy, and just a full champion of rock. You know, like just lived it. And that's really gonna leave a big void without him here.
You don't meet many guys in this business that are really live that life, you know, all the way to the end, like Lemmy, Dime, and Vinnie was like that, you know. I mean, there's a lot of people that say they live that lifestyle, and they really don't, and they like their jobs, and it's fun and stuff like that, but I mean, really living it every single night, that was Vinnie Paul. He was just just a good guy, like Sean was saying, made sure everybody else had a great time, you know. Just such a great host. No matter what room he was in, he was just a big-hearted fella. We already miss him greatly.
MULATSCHAG.
Okay. I got no more questions, and I think
You need to go take a piano lesson? Is your piano lesson, is it time for that? Or
no, not on Sundays.
you're going to go steal a car?
Yes.
Oh, today's Sunday?
Saturday.
Oh,
It's Saturday. But great joke. When I steal a car and get caught, then I'm Alice in Chains. This was so bad.
Okay, that's not going to work.
No.
I'm not going to get you out.
MULATSCHAG.
Hi, this is Mike Inez from Alice in Chains.
And Sean,
You are watching MULATSCHAG.
the only, I can't remember what the fucking thing was. TV you need? The only TV you need? The only radio, the only microwave oven you need. The only instant coffee maker and hairdryer you need. It's probably the only toaster oven you're ever going to want, because it's a quality, it's badass, you can make pizza in it. It's fucking, it does, I think it does laundry.
And it rocks.
And I think it does laundry.
Okay.
Perfect, actually.
Oh, was it? Okay. Okay. You want to do one more or no? We're good?
One more.
Okay, great.
They'll use the last one,
Yeah, totally.
because this one will just be the same.
Okay, here we
Everybody
go
does.
first.
No, you do.
Hi, this is Mike from Alice in Chains.
And Sean,
You are watching MULATSCHAG.
the only TV you need.
MULATSCHAG!